great shot of Seattle and the Space Needle. Good times abound here in Seattle with the Mariners on a 4-game winning streak. And we are glad you're with us tonight for Mariner Baseball as we bring you inside Safeco Field that just pulled the roof back under cloudy skies. The Rangers in town. The Mariners trying to get game 2 of this series. Good evening, everybody. Glad you're with us. Dave Sims and Mike Blowers. And we talked about the good feelings here. Felix with a great win last night. Offense came through. They beat you, Darvish. See if they can keep it going.
Well, and I think that's the biggest key. Can they keep it going? And a lot of times you look right to the next starter the next day. Today it'll be Noesi. He's pitched well as of late, so let's just see if he can keep that going. But the encouraging thing is the offense. A number of guys that had struggled early in the season are starting to get things turned around, and because of that, they're scoring more runs. That's always a big key, especially in the American League.
And when you see the young kids maturing right in front of your eyes, it's very exciting. And against a team like Texas, it's a heck of a test to go against these guys, the two-time American League champions.
It is, but that's where you gain your confidence, David, going out and competing and having some success, which they had last night. And I think if you can continue to do that, then you start to really believe. We belong in this league. We can compete with the best in this league, and that's how you start to move down the track to where you move up the list right there.
That's
so
right.
I think so far things are really going pretty well for the Mariners.
Got a good group that's growing together here in Seattle. It's the Mariners and the Rangers. Hector Noesi, he's up next. See what he can do against the Texas Rangers. First pitch, lineups, everything straight ahead here in Mariner Baseball. This is Mariner Baseball from Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington. Good evening, everybody. Dave Sims along with Mike Blowers. A little bit later, Dan Wilson will join us, and we're ready for first pitch action. As the outstanding second baseman for the Rangers stands in, Ian Kinsler. First pitch from Hector Noesi is up high for ball one. 56 degrees under cloudy skies. Fouled off. Home plate umpires Tom Hallion. Look forward to hearing him with some punch outs tonight. Alfonso Marquez at first, Corey Blazer the umpire at second, and Brian Onora is at third. Mariners coming off a terrific 6-1 win last night against these Rangers. Line drive left field, backing up Wells. He's there. Take a look at the rest of the Rangers lineup.
Thank you, Dave. And for manager Ron Washington, following Kinsler, it'll be Elvis Andrus. Want to keep him off the bases. He can really go. And then, of course, Josh Hamilton. Great start this year. 18 home runs so far. Then it's Beltre, Young, Murphy, Nelson, Cruz, Napoli. Mitch Moreland with a home run in last night's game. He will hit ninth. Numbers for Noesi. High ERA. It's been inconsistent this year. 16 walks in the 43 and a third. 27 strikeouts. Opponents average 242.
Like the way he pitched last time out against Cleveland, left with a 4-0 lead. Tough break that night. That was a difficult loss the Mariners had last week. That was what, getaway day in Cleveland.
Well, I like what he's doing already. Just come out, start throwing the fastball. He needs to establish it. I think for any young pitcher, knowing that your fastball is pretty good and you can throw it even against a good hitting lineup like the Rangers have and establish that pitch early is important to him. And if he can do that, then he can start to use the great changeup and his slider. But for Hector, at times, he wants to pitch off the edges of the plate. That's a bad idea against a good offensive club. You want to be ahead of these guys.
2-1 they count. Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. Rangers come in first place, American League West, 4 games over Oakland, 6.5 over the Rangers. Down low, last place, Angels are 8 back. On Washington's team last night saw Josh Hamilton go 0 for 4, and the ball club went 0 for 6 runners in scoring position. They don't do 0-fers and runners in scoring position much. 3-2 the count. Now Wesley into the wind, 3-2. There's a line drive right field. Ichiro coming on, makes the catch, 2 down.
So nice catch in right field by Ichiro. Out in the left field will be Casper Wells, Michael Saunders in center. Change on the infield today. Alex Liddy getting the start at third base. Ryan at shortstop. Kyle Seager moves from third over to second. Justin Smoke, the first baseman. And Jesus Montero back behind the plate. You take a look at Ichiro coming in for the sliding catch. Our McDonald's Supermo.
Here's Josh Hamilton coming off an 0 for 4 last night. Right now, the most dominant hitter in the American League, if not all of baseball. Batting average, home runs, RBI leader. Second in runs, second in hits, first in total bases, leads in slugging, second in on base, and on it goes.
And with all those great numbers that you just mentioned, Dave, he looked bad a couple of times last night. Gives you an idea how good Felix was.
Wesley 3-0. 2 down here in the first. The shift on for Hamilton. You got the shortstop Ryan in short left field. Second baseman Seager in short right field with Liddy, the middleman closest to the bag. 3-1 count.
All those fastballs away. Good fastball at 95 miles an hour. So he's already made up his mind if he's going to make a mistake, it's going to be away from him. He's a big part of the park.
3-2 to Hamilton off the end of the bat.
Good changeup, 87 miles an hour. Adrian Beltre, the former Mariner, waiting on deck. He's off to a good start this year. Adrian hitting .304 with 8 home runs.
Ron Washington hoping to get his 3-hole hitter going here at Noesi, trying to shut him down, and does right there with a big swing and a miss. Nice start for Hector Noesi, a 1-2-3 first against the Texas Rangers. Mariners coming to bat. Mariners, Hector Noesi with a great start. He strikes out Josh Hamilton, the MVP of the American League from a couple of years ago. Big strikeout against the best hitter in the American League, and that was a very effective pitch. We'll take a look at the Mariners batting order against Matt Harrison.
Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Chevron. Dustin Ackley, the DH, he will lead things off. Then it's Alex Liddy hitting second. Ichiro Montero smoke. Kyle Seager dropping down out of the cleanup spot. He will hit sixth tonight. Wells, Saunders, and Brendan Ryan will hit ninth.
Here's Ackley taking the strike. DH tonight. Mike Harrison's been murder against the Mariners. Won 5 in a row, 4-0 last year. A 1.98 ERA.
Yeah, he's really pitched well. He has a good arm to start with. His fastball will be anywhere from 92 to 95 miles an hour. Talked to some of the Rangers people about him, and they said that the biggest thing for him, he's still young. And if you put some pressure on him, he has a tendency to give up a few runs. Still hasn't really learned the art of damage control yet. Even a possibility of giving up 1 or 2 runs. He usually will give up more than that. 30 strikeouts and 48 1/3 innings for him. He has given up 6 home runs this year.
Ackley in his 4th game as DH in a race right here, and it's won by Mitch Moreland, the first baseman.
Take a look at the rest of the defense for the Rangers tonight. In the outfield, it'll be David Murphy and left. Hamilton, the center fielder. Nelson Cruz is in right. And on the infield, Gold Glover Adrian Beltre at third. Andrews and Kinsler play up the middle. Mitch Moreland, the first baseman. And Mike Napoli will do the catching. I think that Moreland made the right choice. If he flips it to Harrison, Ackley may beat it out, but you can see he's clearly out by a step at first.
Here's Alex Liddy with a swing and a miss. 4th time he's batting in the 2nd spot in the order. Nineteenth start for Liddy. Out. Look out. Way late on that one, 1-2. Good numbers for Harrison here in Seattle. 26 years old. 6-1 career against the Mariners. Pitch misses. Two. Missed inside, working against Liddy. Ichiro's on deck. Eric Wedge real thrilled with a lot of great long at bats. We talked about those last night, Mike, with Carp having a 10-pitch at bat. Jaso had a long at bat.
It makes a difference, and certainly when you get into one of those battles, you'd like to walk away with it with a base hit or maybe even a walk. But just the fact that you're putting those pitches on the starting pitcher, and especially a good one last night at Darvish, as you mentioned with Harrison tonight, he's given the Mariners some problems. So if you can put that pitch count up there, typically this time of the year the managers will pull them a little bit earlier, and that might be in your favor.
Liddy down the line. Goes foul.
So for Alex, he'll go get a new piece of lumber. This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat coming up.
Nice catch down there on the line. One out, nobody on. They're closing the roof. Here at Safeco Field. He fouls off another.
I think too, just from talking to Eric about that, the one thing that he wants to see is he wants to know that his hitters are basically, once you get into trouble up there, that you're anchored in that batter's box and you're giving every effort you have to try to make something happen. Basically, you're just battling through it. Sometimes you have to get away from your plan just to do that. A good at bat for Alex Liddy.
Liddy works a walk. 9-pitch AB for Mr. Liddy to bring up Ichiro. Ichiro last night 2 for 4, 2 runs batted in, scored a run. Comes in tonight, it's Mariners leading hitter. Hit leader, total bases leader, and stolen base leader. 226 hitter against Matt Harrison. One of the things that worked really well for the Mariners last night to look in his zone, not so much with Darvish. He's got the great stuff, the full arsenal, and the game plan was look in his zone last night, and it worked real well. And 7 Texas walks last night, 4 of them scored for the Mariners, way outside.
Well, I think so far the Mariners, they've seen Darvish twice, and both times he hasn't been real sharp. You can certainly see that he has plus stuff, but his command of his fastball wasn't there for him. I thought the Mariners' game plan was maybe to be a little more aggressive with him because how well he'd been pitching.
Bouncing ball over the head of Moreland. That's in the right field for a base hit. Liddy on his way to third. He'll get there easily. So Ichiro with a base hit. Mariners with 1 out have runners at the corners.
But basically because Darvish was struggling early in the game with his command, they stayed patient with him and it paid off. Ichiro being aggressive in this at bat, hits the ball off front of the plate. It looks like as it bounces over Moreland's head and goes into right field. Alex Liddy, a good athlete, is able to get around to third without any problem. You see it right past the outstretched glove of Mitch Moreland.
Jesus Montero. Jesus DH last night, 1 for 3, couple of runs batted in, a sacrifice fly, and a 7th inning double. First time he's facing Harrison, and he fouls one back. So Liddy at third, Ichiro at first. A 1-out threat here in the first for the Mariners. Bounced up there, no advancement. Napoli keeps it in front. Mariners now 3-2 in this early season against the Texas Rangers. Play. So the roof now fully extended, covering us and keeping us from the rain. We're very optimistic to open it right before first pitch, and then
It worked last night.
Yeah, it did.
They opened it just before the game started,
They
and they were able to keep it open the entire time.
downpour before they opened it last night. 1-2 pitch inside, skipping out of the way. 2-2 to Montero. He battles Matt Harrison. Montero, Mariners home run leader with 6. Here's the coaching staff. Ron Washington, he's taken these Rangers to the World Series the last 2 years. Jackie Moore, Scott Coolbow. Mike Maddox, Gary Pettis at first, and Dave Anderson, the third base coach, with Andy Hawkins, a bullpen coach. There's Montero, swing and a miss. He's gone. And they're 2 down here in the first.
He has a great changeup. You can see the grip of his changeup right there, 86 miles an hour, coming off a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Montero out in front of it.
So Matt Harrison, 26-year-old left-hander from Durham, North Carolina, lives in Creedmoor, North Carolina, coming off a 3-2 campaign last year in 37 games. Arrived in the big leagues with the Rangers in 2008. Here's Smoke, former Ranger. Get out of the way. Ball 1. Mariners last night were 2 for 9 runners in scoring position. As we mentioned, Texas 0 for 6.
Mariners also making Darvish throw a lot of pitches in the first inning, and now here it is, the same thing with Harrison. This will be his 25th pitch of the inning coming up.
Darvish faced 5 men through lots of pitches. 1-0 to Smoke off speed pitch. That misses. Right to the left of Kawasaki, Felix Hernandez. What a gem he threw last night. 8 innings of 6 hit, 1 run ball, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. Striking outside corner to Smoke, 2-1.
Harrison throwing the changeup there in a 2-0 count. You have a couple of outs out. Yeah, there's a base open and it is second, but one of the things, and I'm sure he's aware of this, right-handers hitting 350 off of him. Lefty's just a $125. You have the left-handed hitter Kyle Seager on deck. I doubt that he'll just give in to Smoke.
Well, straight left field, base hit. Scoring is Liddy. Each row to second, 1-0 Mariners.
Really a good at bat from Justin Smoke. Back-to-back changeups to him. The 2-0 pitch was a changeup. That's a fastball count, and then the 2-1. A lot of times you will get the fastball, but he goes back-to-back changeups. And Justin Smoke had a great road trip, hitting 350 on the road trip. Great job of getting that runner in, picking his teammates up. You have a runner on third and less than 2 outs. You want to cash him in. They weren't able to do that, but then Smoke comes up with the 2-out RBI. That's a big one.
Remember what you talked about in Colorado. Do you see the placement of his head? Really good.
Every day he gets a little bit better. I think that we're going to see him start to drive the ball more and more as he starts to gain his confidence and feel better about himself.
First and second for Seager. As Harrison throws one off the plate. Seager last night, you remember, swung and missed, and his left hand let go of the bat. He couldn't believe how far he threw the bat behind the dugout on the first base side. Said he'd never done that before.
The good news with that is it was a great catch by the fan.
Yeah. Ricochet off the seat. Yeah, that was scary. Around Washington's club, down 1-0 here to the Mariners. In the first inning, 2 outs, a run in, and runners at first and second. 1-1 to count to Seager. Seager
28 pitches now, 16 of them for strikes.
Seager at second base tonight. He was at third last night. That's where he plays for the most part. Off-speed pitch there, misses. They had 2 really good spurts during that road trip. Heading the count, 2-1. They get 3-1. Jasper Wells on deck.
Excuse me, Dave. Kyle hitting 290 off of left-handers this year. It's always an interesting matchup when you have a pitcher that has dominated the lefties, but you have a left-handed hitter that has held his own against them to watch them go at each other.
3-1 pitch. Took a good rip.
Well, it's in a good place for Kyle. 2 pitch in the middle of the plate. See what Kyle has done over the last 4 games, hitting over 400. That last fastball, middle of the plate and down.
Runners will be off. 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. Seager's done a great job with 2 out RBIs, trying to come through again. 3-2 pitch. Got foul.
Another long Mariner at bat. This will be the 7th pitch coming up in this at bat for Kyle Seager. See the last couple of fastballs in the middle of the plate. Kyle hasn't been able to square one of them up yet.
They shade him towards left center. Harrison, 3-2 pitch to Seager. Fouled off again. Nice catch by the ball boy on one hop. Paying attention down there. Nice job.
Hoping Jack Sorensic was paying attention, Dave.
Good call.
Play a little short, a little second.
Swing to bat. 3-2 pitch one more time. And he walked him. The bases are loaded for Casper Wells. Second walk in the inning. Not a surprise that Mike Maddox coming at the Tigers left-hander.
Well, if nothing else, give him a little bit of a break. 35 pitches now for Harrison. The other thing, I mean, and again, it's young pitchers. Mariners tonight, they have no S, so you'll see some of the same type of stuff. But for him, just reminding him, he's a ground ball, fly ball, getting out of this inning, giving up just 1 run. On the flip side of it, if Casper Wells coming up, man, he should be looking to get after it here. A fastball early in the count. You know, the bases loaded now, nowhere to put him. He's going to have to be aggressive in the first couple of pitches to him.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. What an opportunity here in the first inning. A run in, bases loaded, 2 outs. Wells drives one. Deep left center field. Hamilton with a long run. That ball is caught. Oh, brother. He ran it down at the Nike sign. Nikon sign for the out. Oh! It looked like it was going to leave the yard for a 4 spot, and Hamilton just ran it down. 1 run on the board for the Mariners. It's 1-0 Seattle. Mariners left them loaded. Wells gave it a ride, fellas, and it just would not leave the yard. What a catch by Hamilton. He stayed with it right at the K of the Nikon sign. And Gary Pettis, he was an outstanding outfielder in his day. First base coach, Manada baby to Josh Hamilton. Boy, I thought Wells had really lit one up.
I think we all did.
Dan Wilson joins us now. And then we're all pretty excited on that swing by Wells as Beltre goes opposite field, drives Ichiro back just shy of the track for the first out. Dan, all good to see you, pal. How are you? Doing
good.
well?
Very good. Yeah, it's great to see you guys, as usual.
Come down after that. Thought maybe you had one there.
Oh,
you know?
man, I'll tell you what. I saw Blow's arm go up like this, and I thought, I'll tell you what, that's a tape I've seen plenty of times being up at the plate. And, boy, he got all that. I thought he covered that pitch, and Hamilton tracked it down.
And what you talked about, Mike, and we've seen this a lot lately, particularly in that situation. He was very aggressive first pitch.
And I think again that you should be. You get in a situation where the bases are loaded, and you have a pitcher that's struggling out there. I think almost always one of the first two pitches you see is going to be in the middle of the play. Well, if that's the case, don't let him get away with a jump on it. Wells did. It looked like to me like Casper was going to have one at least off the fence, and then unfortunately Hamilton made a great play. But you have a chance to really hurt the pitcher on one swing. And I thought Casper put a good swing on that one. It's worth taking the chance.
Gold Glove center fielder. An MVP a couple of years ago. Josh Hamilton ran it down. 0-2 here to Michael Young. And he's gone. He knew it. Michael Young, a little indecisive there. Last night, Felix held him to an 0 for 4. 2 outs.
This is a good slider off the plate away from Michael Young. Michael's strength has always been the ability to hit the ball the other way. But a great pitch from Nwesi. Well located down and away.
Quick 2 outs here. And the Rangers' second inning. Here's David Murphy, the left fielder. So the Mariners get a run on 2 hits and leave them loaded in the first for the 1-0 lead.
Dan, have you had a chance to see much of Hector this year?
Yeah. I think his fastball speaks for itself. That mid-90s and just kind of explodes up there, and he's got just the outstanding changeup and continues to work on that slider.
Back with a strike.
For me, with young pitchers, you're going to see some inconsistency. You're going to see some good starts. You're going to see some tough starts, and I think for him, coming off that good start in Cleveland, I think tonight's going to be another good night for him.
How long typically, and I know it's different because they're all different personalities, but when you have a young pitcher and I think he has a good fastball and a good moving fastball, before you can convince him, you know what, it's really that good to where you can throw it and be aggressive with it.
Yeah, you talk about a hitting team like Texas. He knows they can hit the fastball. He might be a little timid with it, but you're right, it's got that great movement.
Wells coming in, plenty of room. Nice inning for Hector Nwesi. 6 up, 6 down against the tough Texas Rangers, the #1 hitting team in the American League. It's 1-0 Mariners. Rangers, game 2 of a 3-game set. 12:40 start time tomorrow. Mariners had Matt Harrison on the ropes, ready to go through. Here's a line drive to center field. That'll get down. A base hit for Saunders, aggressively opening the home second inning. Hey, this Saturday, we're going to paint the town and the Kings Court red for Turn Back the Clock Day. Felix will be on the mound. We're going to salute the Seattle Rainiers of the 50s. For $30, you get a ticket, a special edition Red Kings Court shirt, and a cake card. So get your tickets for this Saturday's Red Kings Court at Mariners.com/Felix. Yeah, Harrison's like many a boxing event I've seen. He's going through the ropes. Finish him off. Come on. Get him in that first row. Brendan Ryan, the hitter.
Mike, you're talking about those lefties staying on that left-handed pitcher. Nice job by Sondo there. Sometimes guys, left-handers have a tendency to pull off with a left-handed pitcher. Mike really staying in on that ball and just taking what he can get. Might have gotten in on him just a hair, but able to lift that ball into the outfield for a hit.
And by letting the ball travel and keeping it in front of us, even though it did, it gives him a better chance of getting a hit like he ended up getting hit. And I think that's one of the biggest adjustments that Michael's made this year, Dan. He's really done an excellent job against lefties. I think 3 of his home runs have come off of left-handers on the breaking ball. The only way you can do that is if you're willing to keep your front side in there.
Saunders back safely. He's got 5 stolen bases on the season. 1 behind team leader Ichiro with 6. Just ahead of Ackley, who has 4. So does Kyle Seager. Ryan pops one up. It's out of play. Brendan Ryan coming off a 1-for-3 performance last night.
Danny, did you get a chance to see him pull the old Butcher Boy last night? It was great. Guys, belt race crash, Moreland's crash, and it wasn't one of the timid ones either. He let it rip. He ended up fouling the pitch off, but it was just funny to see everybody's reaction on it.
Napoli saying he held on. Tom Hallion saying no.
I can't remember the last time I saw that play.
It doesn't happen real often where they actually smoke it at him, but
and the timing of it was good because they had the wheel play on. Infielders were all over the place. It would have worked beautifully if he'd have been able to get it in play.
You see more of that in the National League than over here?
Well,
it's about the same.
Probably a little bit more in the National League. You're having to find a little bit more little ball over there.
Anders, Kinsler, Moreland, double play. 2 down. Top of the order. Here's Ackley again.
Did you ever try it? You ever tried the Butcher Boy, Dan?
No. But you got to love hitting when infielders are running all over the place.
You do.
There's just too many holes out there at that point.
And I would guess that Brendan, I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it today. I saw him talking to Dats before the play, and I knew that it was kind of going through his mind. I just could sense it because Brendan's kind of that heady type of player, but I was wondering if he did it on his own.
Straightaway center field, backing up Hamilton. No problem. Double play, big part of the second inning. Mariners lead Matt Harrison and Rangers 1-0. RBI by Smoke in the first inning. Mariners left the bases loaded. Hamilton made a terrific catch deep in left center field against Casper Wells. First pitch to Nelson Cruz is outside for a ball. Cruz, Napoli, and Moreland 7-8-9. Cruz 0 for 3 last night. Wessy through the first 2 innings, couple of strikeouts, 6 up, 6 down. There's 3-0 to Cruz. Cruz 2 for 2 against Ekman. Pitched like he wanted no part of him. First base runner for Texas. Now's your chance to ask the booth anything you want. Tweet your questions to @RootsSports_NW. We'll answer some in the game, like starting now. Who decides to open the roof here at Safeco Field, Mr. Blowers? Thank you, Jason.
I know that to open it or close it, it comes down to Chuck Armstrong if he's here. And if Chuck is not, I believe, then it goes to Jack Sorenzik, I believe is what Chuck told me. But most of the time he is here. So he'll make the decision on that. I thought one of the interesting things when I was talking to Chuck about the roof, he asked me, he goes, how many times do you think in a year the roof is closed or they have to move it? So in over 81 dates, how many times do you think that it's either
25.
25%?
25%. Let's go 20.
I guess 10. What do you think, Danny?
I guess about, I'd be with Dave, about 25%.
23%. It really surprised me that it was that much. They use it a lot more than I would have thought. So, but Chuck did. He's the one that makes the decision. Now, like tonight's game, the game started with the roof open. It started to rain, so obviously he closed the roof tonight, and the roof will remain closed for the rest of the game, even if the sun comes out the rest of the way.
Right.
He doesn't want to create an unfair advantage to either club, and that's just the way the rules are going. But Chuck is the one that makes the decision, and he also pointed out to me that wasn't a league rule. Now it is. Before that was the club's rule, his policy, and now it's the league's policy. And he felt that way because he did a lot of studies, which I didn't. It was found it kind of interesting. But when the roof is reopened, there's a wind draft that comes down and shoots through the stadium. So if you're hitting at that time, that's a great strikeout for Wessy. It's an advantage, and so that's the reason why they keep it closed.
Well, first time to hear Tom Hallion ring one up. Listen in. Third strikeout for Wessy, 1 out. And that'll bring up Mitch Moreland. He hit a monster home run. 2-2 pitch leading off the 8th last night. One of the longer home runs we've seen this season. Deep right center field. Infield double play depth. So take a listen. Here's Tom Hallion.
That's a sweet sound when you're back there catching. I got to be honest.
I bet it is.
Dan Wilson, longtime catcher, Cincinnati, of course, here with the Mariners. Yeah, you want to be catching this. I'm back to the dugout.
I'll tell you, both with Young and with Napoli there, Wessy using that slider, that's a pitch he's worked on, and that's 2 pretty good sliders right there for the punch outs.
3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Not giving up a hit to this point. Moreland, 1-0 pitch. Some 9-hole hitter, 16 homers last season.
Yeah, he was the one run that scored last night. He had a home run in last night's game. 7 home runs on the year.
Wessy ready, 1-1. Straight back. Now Wessy, 25 years old, 6'3", 200. Esperanza and the Dominican Republic. Game over with Jesus Montero for Michael Pineda and Jose Campos, January of this year. Both Pineda and Campos are on the DL. Pineda done for the year. Noesi and Montero, big parts of what the Mariners have done. 4 games under 500 as we start today's game. 2-2 to Moreland.
One of the things that makes this lineup so tough. There's no breaks in it, Danny. I mean, you're talking about the 9-hole hitter, and as Dave mentioned, 18 home runs last year, hitting 9th on this club.
And you look at Napoli in the 8th hole, he's got 7 home runs on the year already. Moreland in the 9th hole with 7 home runs. You got that kind of production down in the lineup. You're right. There's no rest for the weary down there, and you got to treat all 9 guys equally, and you know, for a pitcher that takes its toll towards the end of the ball game.
What about the catcher? You have a young kid back there in Montero trying to do the same thing, right?
2-2, misses outside. Full count.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to call the game. He's trying to mix it up and do the job that he has to do back there. When you've got 9 guys that you've got to set up and pitch differently each time through the lineup, that makes for a long afternoon or evening. And you know, sometimes most lineups have 2 or 3 guys that you can make just decent pitches to. You don't have to put a lot of thought in. They'll hit your ground ball or whatever, but not this lineup.
Or they can't hurt you, really. They may get a base hit, but they're not going to hurt you with something out of the ballpark.
3-2, runner goes. Pitch taken outside for ball 4. Second walk of the game and the inning. Runners at first and second as we get back to the top of the order. They sent your out of office message for Gone to Catch Mariners baseball and head to Safeco Field tomorrow. U.S. Bank Mariners matinee. Each row, Felix and the Mariners take on Josh Hamilton and Beltray and the Rangers. Special start time 12:40. Get your tickets. Green grass, blue skies, Mariners.com. Top of the order, Ian Kinsler lined out to left. High, ball 1. Montero going out forward.
The one thing you don't want to do with this Texas Ranger lineup is give free passes, Mike. A couple of walks here this inning. Moreland with a good at bat, but ends up drawing the walk. And now they're at the top, back to the top of the order with 2 guys on, only 1 out. So Montero out there to tell him, hey, let's get that ground ball. Let's work ahead. I think that's the biggest thing with this club is you got to work ahead.
Oh, you're right. 10 batters faced, only 3 first pitch strikes for Noesi so far. He's been able to get away with it, but now with a couple of walks, he's in trouble.
Liddy guarding the line at third. Pitch, breaking ball up high. Lost his feel here. Walk Cruz on 4 pitches. Got Napoli on an 0-2 pitch. Moreland walking a 3-2 offering, now 2-0 to Kinsler. And on deck Elvis Andrus has had a terrific start. Hamilton, Beltray, Young, and on it goes.
Dan, we saw Montero go out there, and you were just telling us, you know, ground ball gets you the double play. How often do you go out there and talk to him about something mechanical? Is it very often or not?
You know, I never went out there much with mechanics unless something from the bench came in. Hey, tell him to keep his shoulder in, whatever. But I didn't like to go out there and put something else into a pitcher's mind. I wanted him to stay mentally focused, and so my approach was let's talk about the situation. Let's talk about where location we might want to go with a guy, rather than giving him something mechanical to think about.
Dan Wilson in the booth with us tonight. 3-1 count, first and second for Texas. Mariners holding a 1-0 lead. Rangers threatening. Pitch. It's in there for strike 2.
You know, as hitters, Mike, that would be maybe the biggest nightmare, is if a guy was there telling you what to do during an at-bat. I think that'd be something. I know that was something I didn't want. Maybe now if I go back in and he tells me, a hitting coach might tell you something after the at-bat, but during the at-bat, certainly I wouldn't want mechanical help.
3-2 to Kinsler. Popped it up. Infield fly rule in effect. Ryan makes the catch. 2 down. Well, that's a big one.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, Danny, but I can tell you this: over the years, I had this little guy on my shoulder that was constantly talking to me.
That's a different guy.
So Noesi and Montero, team from the Yankees back in January. They're 1 out away from getting out of a third inning jam here.
Their slider there, 3-2 slider to Kinsler. Good fastball hitter. He threw that little wrinkle there and got the pop up. Good pitch.
Actually backed it up, threw it 3-1 and came back with a 3-2 pitch.
Andrus the hitter. Mariners shading him towards the right side. That's off to a good start. 3-17 entering tonight's game. And Washington saying he's done a great job using the entire field, but particularly going up the middle and going to the right side. And that's how the Mariner outfield is playing him. 1-1.
That little guy on your shoulder liked to talk too, didn't he?
All the time. It's the best part about being up here, Danny. I don't hear him anymore.
You're retired, huh?
He's done.
1-1 the count to Andrus. A couple of men on. Runners at first and second. In there for a strike. 1-2. Strike away from getting out of it. Nelson Cruz takes his lead at second. Mitch Moreland at first. Two outs. The 1-2 to Andrus. Hammered into the gap. There's going to be a lot of running here. Nelson Cruz scores. Moreland to third being waved around. He's going to score. Digging for a triple. And in safely is Andrus. A 2-run triple, and Texas has a 2-1 lead. Elvis Andrus drives one to the left center field gap. That's his third triple. Takes over the team lead. He had been tied with Kinsler and Napoli.
But we talked about Noesi and his slider tonight. This one, unfortunately, up in the strike zone about letter high, and Andrus just, it makes it so much easier for him to drive that pitch, and he does right into the gap and picks up the 2 RBIs and ends up on third base.
And it comes back to what you were talking about, Dan, and that is the walks. This is a club that is explosive. We all know that. So you really have to make them earn everything that they get, because if you're walking guys, same thing happened with the Mariners last night. Mariners enjoyed getting the walks, and they made the Rangers pay for it. The flip side tonight, they just have too many good hitters. They constantly have to make great pitches to, and you make the one mistake that you were just talking about, and it hurts.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing when you face a team like the Rangers, you'd rather make a mistake with nobody on base rather than 2 guys on base, and that's what the walk. That's how the walks kill you. Is you make that mistake. Now there's 2 guys on base, and the 2 runners score.
Elvis Andrus, one of the among the league leaders in hitting. 6th in hitting entering tonight. Comes up big now. Here's Josh Hamilton, struck out first time. He's 0 for 5 in this series. Not anymore. If that stays fair, it does. Fed picks it up. Automatic double. RBI for Hamilton. 3-1 Texas.
Well, this is a great piece of hitting. It's a pitch away from Hamilton. He shoots it down. It looks like it lands right on the line. We'll take a look at our McDonald's Super Mo. Wow, half the ball on the outside of the line.
Hamilton's first hit of the series drives in a run. It's 3-1 Rangers. Here's Beltre. Adrian flied out to right first at bat.
Not only a good hitter's good, Mike, but more times than not they're lucky too. Josh Hamilton, both a good hitter and lucky.
Ground ball down to Ryan. Throws out Beltre. Damage done though. Andrus a 2-run triple, RBI single. Hamilton couple of walks. They both scored. It's 3-1 Texas.
Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by CenturyLink, by Banner Bank, better ideas, better banking, and by the Emerald Queen Casino, inviting you to a spectacular evening live with Anita Baker, June 22nd. For tickets and information, go to emeraldqueen.com. Fellas?
All right, Angie, thank you very much. It'll be Liddy, Ichiro, and Montero here in the home third, 2, 3, and 4 against Matt Harrison. Now has a 3-1 lead. Liddy with a walk his first time up. Straightaway center field. Slicing away from Hamilton. Going back on the track. Makes the catch. Man, 2 outstanding catches already by Josh Hamilton. They can cover it.
Well, he's not only really good offensively, but he can do this too. Rob's for sure a double, it looked like, for Liddy as he crashes in the wall. Actually tears the padding out there with his spikes. A great catch.
That's 2 of them tonight. Robbed extra bases from Casper Wells. That ended the first inning with the bases loaded. Ichiro, the base hit to right. A couple of hops. That's a routine pop. Andrus going back. The left fielder coming in hard. Murphy is playing shallow. Makes the catch. Quick 2 outs here in the third. Revisit. Look at the catch by Hamilton. Big man, very graceful. Great awareness out there.
Well, you could see when he was going back, he never looked at the wall. He could just feel it. He knew it was coming up. And that's when he makes his jump to really brace himself. Great concentration.
Took a heck of a divot out of that wall padding. 2-0 to Montero. Jesus struck out on a 2-2 pitch. 2-1. Beltre charges. Throws on the money and retires Montero. Quick inning. Josh Hamilton played a big part of it with a great catch to rob Alex Liddy. 3-1 Rangers.
Everybody, Angie Mantank here at the Ford Sports Desk. The Rays' Carlos Pena has been in a bit of a slump. 0 for his last 18. How do you improve it? You move him from the middle of the lineup to the top of the lineup. I think it worked. Pena adds 3 runs onto the board with a bomb to center field. It's his 6th home run of the season. Tampa Bay over the Jays, 8-5. Dave, back upstairs to you.
He didn't miss it. My goodness, he hit that a long way. Carlos Pena happened to be back in St. Petersburg. Michael Young's going to lead it off here in the fourth. 3-1 Rangers. Swing and a miss. Young could say enough great things about Felix Hernandez and the performance Felix turned in last night. Said he's not the best. Boy, I don't know. Cut it, sink it. Great command. Fastball at 92, 93 plenty. He says, you know, I could do 97, 98. The question was put to Michael while I was in the clubhouse. Why should he throw 97, 98 with all the stuff? You know, we see this every 5 days. We know, but it's just interesting hearing another, particularly an elite player's analysis of Felix as Itro puts that one away. 1 out.
Always like competing against Michael Young, one of the classier players in the game. He's been with Texas for a long time, and he can hit.
One of the tougher outs in this
league.
Oh,
man, I tell you, he'll hit the ball the other way just as far as he can pull it, and just a tough out all around.
Even early in his career, because we've seen him the last 3, 4, 5 years going opposite field, but he was like that from the get-go, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he could hit, you know, Texas, that right center outfield, the ball just jets out that way, and he'd take advantage of that early on, and just a great player.
David Murphy flying out to left in his first at bat. USC got into trouble in the third. He walked Cruz, struck out Napoli, walked Moreland, and after a pop out of Kinsler, a 2-run triple by Elvis Andrus. Hamilton followed with a base hit to left down the line. 3-1 Texas. This one popped up. Ryan ranging way out there. Makes the catch. Shortstop all the way over in front of the right fielder. Hey, it's time to rock and roll here at Safeco Field. Saturday, turn back the clock day. Join us. We're going to flash back to the sights and sounds of the 50s. Mariners and Angels will wear their retro uniforms. Home team's going to be wearing Rainier's Reds. So twist and shout your way to tickets at mariners.com. When's the last time you saw a shortstop over there?
Holy moly.
2 outs, and here's Nelson Cruz, who walked and scored in the third. One and one.
Seeing him do that reminded me of Omar. Pop up, I call it. It's routine. It's like right on top of me at third, and all of a sudden I hear him screaming for me to get out of the way, so I do. Another pop up here, it looks like.
Montero giving a look, and ends up
Scramble out of the way. Omar catches it, laughing, of course. And he looks at it. He tells me, he goes, if it's ever in the air, just get out of the way. I've got it. Fielding percentage.
That's a great story.
So he would go up in the air, and I'd just start walking to the dugout. And he could go get it with the best of them, too, on those pop-ups. He was great at it.
Any angle, huh? 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. That'll do it for the Rangers, unless he comes back with a nice 1-2-3 in the fourth. See if the Mariners offense can get clicking. Smoke, Seager, and Wells coming up. right now, but they'll eventually be here, I imagine. 3-1 Rangers in the lead here. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Time now for AT&T trivia question. When did the Rangers join the American League West? 61, 69, 72, or 77? I'm going to go with C, 72.
I'm going with B, 69.
And as the Beaver, you're going to go with what?
Oh, I will go with 1969.
Smoke takes a strike, 1-1. Base hit to right and an RBI back in the first inning. Smoke, Seager, and Wells. Mariners had Harrison about to put him through the ropes. Fly ball left field coming in. Murphy, as he hit that one off the end of that one out. Mariners left the bases loaded in the first inning. Long fly ball by Wells to Hamilton to the fence, a deep left center field. He made the catch. Here's Seager. He walked his first time.
I have no prior knowledge on that guess, Mike. Just the year I was born, I just went with it.
That's it.
So you may want to change your answer, I guess is what I'm saying.
Too late. We've already tried that before. Curtis won't let us.
Results are starting to come in. Let's see. Going with C, 49% thus far.
Bouncer with you, Dave.
Here's a pop that Hamilton broke back on. Murphy comes in. He makes the catch. Harrison's starting to settle in, boys. 6 in a row retired.
And those long innings, those long at bats early in the ball game, he's kind of making up for that here. Some quicker innings.
5 pitches so far through 9 in the third. Well, here's Wells. Boy, a couple more feet. The Mariners had a 5-0 lead. 0-1 to Casper. In between, and he's now in an 0-2 hole.
It's amazing sometimes you get a little bit of run support, how it changes your attitude as a pitcher, doesn't it, Dan?
Yeah, you can just, you know, at a 5-0 clip, you can afford to go right at him, make him hit, make him get on base, earn everything, and it takes a lot of the pressure off.
3 pitches. You can talk about a quick dismissal. 4th inning over for the Mariners. 3-1 Rangers. Rangers got all their runs in the 3rd inning on 2 hits. Andrus a 2-run triple. Hamilton an RBI single. Here's Mike Napoli to lead it off against Noesi. Looks at strike one. Noesi 4 strikeouts. He's walked 2. Unfortunately, both walks have scored. Napoli took a called third strike, his first time up. Ball at 2 strikes. Napoli, Moreland, and Kinsler eat 9 and 1. Swing and a miss. Napoli's gone. He's K'd twice. That's 5 strikeouts for Noesi. Let's check in again with Angie Mente.
Guys, the Angels come to town next, and they help us and get you up to speed on what's going on in the rest of the division. We're used to seeing Albert Pujols hit home runs, but so far this season seems to be every time we show him, he's not hitting one. That's not the case this time. Albert Pujols puts one on the board for the Angels with a solo shot, just his 4th. It's our Sterling Banks score. Right now, it's 4-0 in the bottom of the first. Dave?
All right, Angie, thank you very much. We saw Cespedes hit a home run against the Mariners up in that second level when we were in Oakland early in the season.
By the windows up there.
Mitch Moreland, a hitter, walked and scored in the 3rd.
Did it quiet the horns out in left center, or did they just keep on blowing
It was louder after that.
0-1 to Moreland. They hire people to blow those vuvuzelas out there in Oakland. I mean, it's been like that forever, right? They weren't known as vuvuzelas, I guess, when you guys were playing, but I mean, that's the same stuff they use in a World Cup. And I mean, those horns are constantly going. Those are the horns you're talking about, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
1-1 pitch.
Yeah, all game long out there.
Here's your CenturyLink high speed pitch. Harrison at 97, Noesi at 95. Ryan at about 5 steps onto the grass behind second base for Moreland. Swing and a miss. 2-2. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's given up 3 runs on 2 hits.
61% fastballs out of the 71 pitches that he has thrown. It's about right, don't you think, Dan? Somewhere 60-65%.
Yeah, especially with a guy that's throwing 95, you might want to see a little higher percentage. But pitch tonight for him that's been pretty effective is that slider. When it's been down, it's been pretty effective. He's got Napoli a couple times, got Young, but you know, that was the pitch that he was up in the zone a little bit to Andrus that he gave up the 2 runs.
Counts at 2-2.
Speaking of the slider, before the game started, I was talking to Dave Valley, who's over working on the radio tonight, and he said something that was interesting. He said that the slider, especially if you have the right-hand hitter, it's always the toughest pitch to lay off of, but it's always the pitch that a pitcher will get hurt with. They seem to hang that slider more than any other pitch. Thought that was an interesting comment.
Center fielder Saunders. Easy play, 2 outs. AT&T trivia question. When did the Rangers join the AL West? Mike went with 61. Danny went with 69. I went with C72. Fans went with me. Survey says all Washington Senators moved to Texas. Switched divisions with the Brewers. AL West created 69 with the additions of Seattle and KC.
Sorry, Blow. Killing you.
Pitch to Kinsler.
The good news, Dan, is it's a marathon.
That's right.
Dave and I get to answer 100 more of those. We'll be all right.
1 game lead. Mike Blowers over Dave Sims and the fans, we're told. For those of you keeping score at home or just watching the game,
we know that Curtis is keeping score.
Pulls an outside pitch. Ryan charges and throws him out. 1, 2, 3. That is 7 in a row retired by Noesi. Trails 3-1. Back with you tomorrow, 12:40 p.m. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. We'll get that right after this pitch here to Michael Saunders, leading it off in tight for ball one. And there you have it, the Mariners. This is game 12 of 20 in a row. Angels come to town, and then we'll see the Rangers again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Texas right now in a stretch of 20 consecutive days played, 6 on the road. One and two here to Saunders. Saunders, Ryan, and Ackley 8, 9, and 1. Bottom of the 5th against Matt Harrison. Strikeout victim number 3 for Harrison, 2 in a row.
Michael trying to stay out over the plate after a couple of breaking balls, and Harrison just ties him up with a good fastball at 93 miles an hour, running in on him. A pitch off the plate inside. You can see Michael just trying to get his hands in as close as he can, but isn't able to do it.
Brendan Ryan, breaking ball for strike.
We were talking about it earlier, Mike. That's the pitch right there that the lefties want. That's why they want to open up, so that they feel like they can get to that pitch.
Yeah, and it, you know, for Michael, and he needs to stay out where he's at. That's where he's had his success. But eventually he'll get to the point, even with 2 strikes and it's in that area, I think he'll know that I can't get to it. He's just going to take it.
Yep.
And, you know, hope for the best. Hope it's called the ball. That was clearly a ball right there, and that'll help him out. But it takes a little bit of experience and time that he's trying to work his way through.
Ryan gets into one down the left field line. Nobody's going to get this one. It's one hop off the fence. Brendan Ryan digging for 2, and he gets there standing up. 1 out double here in the 5th. Brendan Ryan, his 5th 2-bagger of the season, and it's the 4th hit against Harrison tonight.
On a breaking ball, it's in the middle of the plate. Harrison retired 9 in a row. Was kind of cruising along, so hopefully this 1-out double put a little pressure on him. Get back to the top of the lineup and Dustin Ackley.
Tying run at the plate with 1 out. Strike 1. Dustin DHing tonight. Grounded out the first, flied out the center. Harrison, a quick worker. Mike, who else did we see earlier this year that was working as fast? We kept wondering why nobody was stepping out on him. Slow his pace down.
Like that was a couple of times on this last road trip. Yeah. We were talking about that.
Nice play. Beltre holds the runner. Throws out Ackley by about a half a step. Another brilliant play by the Gold Glove third baseman Adrian Beltre. He is something else. 2 down.
There aren't many third basemen that are going to come up with this play. Watch him just smother this. Turns his glove upside down and just smothers it back down to the ground. McDonald Supermo, and always has a strong arm. Fires it across the diamond. Ackley can run, but great play from Beltre.
Got a lot on that throw. A short order. Alex Liddy led off the 3rd, and he drove one to straightaway center field that Hamilton caught banging off the fence. Liddy a walk and the fly out 0 for 1. Bouncing ball knocked off the glove by Beltre. Ryan's coming around. He slammed on the brakes. Oh, I thought he was going to come, and they stopped him. The runners at the corners with 2 outs. A rare error by Beltre, just his 3rd of the season.
That's a tough error. I think I'd rather see Alex Liddy get the base hit. Beltre ranging. It looks like it goes off the end of his glove as he's reaching out for it. Brendan Ryan, seeing that, sees it goes off his glove, is going to score on the play, and Jeff Datz holds him up.
Ryan a little frustrated. See if Ichiro can pick him up. Opportunities here, runners at the corners. Strike one to Ichiro. Base hit to right, fly it out to left. (3-1), runners at the corners. Ichiro up the middle. Kinsler flips, and that will do it for the Mariners in the 5th inning. And they're hearing it from the fans here at Safeco Field. 3-1 Rangers. The 6th. The kids, now you can see how you measure up to Mariners first baseman Justin Smoak. Sunday, all youngsters 14 and under. They're going to get a Justin Smoak growth chart when the Mariners take on the Angels at 1:10. Get your tickets right now, Mariners.com. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Dan Wilson with us here tonight. Hector Noesi in the 3rd inning gave up a 2-run triple to Andrus on a 1-2 pitch with 2 outs, and then gave up a Hamilton RBI single for the 3 runs. Mariners, and that was in response to the Mariners getting on top in the 1st inning. Smoke with an RBI single. Since then, Hector's settled down. Bunt. Man, nice job by Noesi. We saw Millwood dive to make a catch like that, but Noesi stayed on his feet and ran it down.
Hector does a great job as he delivers the ball to get off the mound in a hurry. You can see he's almost moving as the ball is bunted. He picked that up right away, and then when it was in the air, makes a great catch. Almost made it look easy.
That's a nice play. A lot of times we talk about we like to tease the pitchers about not being very athletic, but that play right there, a very athletic play for a pitcher.
Nice job. Well, here comes Hamilton. Felix put an 0 for 4 on him last night. Noesi struck him out in the 1st at bat, then gives up a base hit to left down the left field line. Half the ball on the line. That scored Andrus. 0-1. Ball and a strike. Hit it down to Liddy. Throws out Hamilton. So 2 outs as we check out our Banner Bank Building to the Future. He's back and healthy. Carlos Peguero. .365 batting average, 11 base hits, 6 homers, 6 walks, the strikeouts. Hey, with the homers and the X, I'll take it. Good to see him back coming off the knee injury.
He's one of those guys that just he has so much pop in his bat.
Here's Beltre riding one to center field right at Saunders. How about Noesi? Good inning. Really good. 9 in a row retired. 3-1 Rangers. Your class graduating next month, 2012. Dave Valley's daughter in that group. Good to have them here at the ballpark. Matt Harrison, first pitch to Montero's in there for a called strike. Jesus tonight is struck out, grounded out to third. So Matt Harrison has given up a run on 2 hits. In the first inning, he's given up no runs on 2 hits since then. He's ahead of Montero, 1-2. Montero's stepping up to slow down Harrison. Boys, they're like an Iron Mike, just one after another after another.
Again, I think it comes to the fact that he has a lead now, a couple of runs. He's going to be aggressive.
2-2.
Amazing sometimes what giving up a run will do to a pitcher, Mike. Harrison giving up a run in the first inning, then has really settled in after that. Noesi, on the other hand, giving up 3 in the third, but then he's come out after that and really settled into a nice rhythm.
And I think for Hector, in that inning, we talked about the walks, and that's kind of been the thing for him is even when he's pitched well, he'll have that inning or two where things kind of get away from him. Sometimes he gets out of it, sometimes unfortunately he doesn't, like tonight, but he always had that inning, and I wonder sometimes if that's something that's going to be typical of most pitchers, or if it's just because he's young and it's a lack of concentration, loses a feel for it. You know, what causes that?
Yeah, and I think that over time, that's the inning he's going to eliminate, and I think when he begins to do that, that's when he's going to start winning and winning consistently.
It's almost like clockwork, right?
Right.
One inning. Smokes on deck, drove into Mariners' only run. 2 outs in the first. 3-2. And Napoli holds on to that foul tip. That's strikeout number 4. Another Ask Mike question via Twitter. It is shaking off signs always real or something to fool with the batter at times? I think both of you guys can answer this one.
Well, I think maybe we should go to the Ask Dan since we have him here, and I'll take the pressure off of myself and defer to the former catcher.
You're just mad because I got the trivia question wrong. Anyway,
I wasn't mad because you got it wrong. It was the fact that you didn't. It was just because it was the year you were born in until after the fact. But that being said, Dan, go ahead, please.
Well, I would say the answer to that question is about 80% of the time I would say it's for real. 20% of the time probably to mess with the hitter. And I'll give you an example. A guy like Jamie Moyer loves his changeup. When you get to a changeup count, a time where he wants to throw that changeup, you'll see a lot of times a catcher will give a shake to the pitcher. If everyone in the ballpark knows that changeup's coming, if you can just get the pitcher to shake, it puts a little bit of doubt in that hitter's head. Hey, it's a changeup count. The catcher probably put changeup down. Is he shaking to a fastball here? Should I start to look fastball? If you can just create a little bit of doubt in that hitter's head, you've done your job.
Andrus, nice play. I think Harrison got a piece of it. That's a 1-6-3. Well done. 2 outs.
And I think especially when you got guess hitters that are up there trying to guess with the pitcher, guess what he's going to throw each pitch. Anytime you can throw a shake in there, that just puts that little bit of doubt in a hitter's mind. And I don't know about you, Mike, but when I saw a pitcher shake out there, especially in a 3-2 situation or a 2-2 situation, my mind started to think, what is he shaking to? What does he want to throw here?
Yeah, and I think sometimes I wonder, because we get to watch all the time, but you're talking about the catcher understanding that, giving the pitcher the shake. Go ahead and shake right here because I'm giving you the pitch, but go ahead and shake. Sometimes I see that the pitchers, they'll shake all the way back to the sign that they started with for the same reason.
Ground ball to the second baseman, Kinsler. Goes out the Mariners' second baseman. And a 1-2-3 inning again for Harrison through 6. He's got a 3-1 lead. Rangers over the Mariners in game 2 of this 3-game set. As we start the top of the 7th inning, Michael Young, David Murphy, Nelson Cruz, 5, 6, and 7. Young tonight. Strikeout and a fly to right.
Dan, you were talking about Noesi settling down. Even with a couple of walks that ended up hurting him in the third, he's only at 84 pitches. So he's really settled down nicely. I mean, he's cruising along.
Well, and that's being able to take advantage of a Texas team that's going to be aggressive at the plate. He's making good pitches early, and they're swinging at him, making outs, and here we are in the 7th inning, and he's got 84 pitches.
Line drive into the gap. Michael Young out of the box hard. Wells gets it back in. So a base hit to start the 7th inning. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Widmer Brothers Brewing, craft brewing in Portland, Oregon since 1984. And by Pizza Hut. It's back. Pizza Hut's famous cheesy bites pizza only $11.99 and only at your Pizza Hut. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Dan Wilson. Safeco Field with 15,604 on hand. high fly ball right field in his tracks, pretty much as Ichiro. First out. They bring up Nelson Cruz, who's walked and scored in the third. Struck out in the fourth. Rangers were down 1-0. Had 2 on, 2 out, and a 1-2 count to Andrus, and he tripled to deep left center field and scored 2. And then Hamilton followed with a base hit to score Andrus, and there's the 3-1 lead. Three runs, 3 hits, and an error for the Rangers. A run on 4 hits for the Mariners. Thank goodness for the hard batting helmet on top of his head.
That ball bounced off the helmet and went over the screen.
That's amazing.
You don't see that very often.
Do you think Johnny bench every day, every time when you were catching, wearing those hard hats?
Yeah, absolutely.
See the shot that Jaso took last night on the collarbone?
I heard about it. Ouch.
Did you wear that extra padding like Montero has on there, or no?
I did not. No, and you know you do take it, and that front area of your shoulder is so tender. Here's the foul tip off Montero. See it hit him in the top, almost where the mask meets the helmet, and that thing shot straight up and over the screen.
Thank goodness for Johnny Bench. That's going back late 60s, 68, 69 when he came up. First guy that did that on a daily basis. I think for generations they didn't have that.
No, they wore the hat, which is what the umpires do, and you wonder about those guys from time to time.
Up and in. Fouled into the glove of Montero. Cruz is gone. Second time he struck out. 2 outs here in the 7th. Make sure you ride Sound Transit. Save on gas and parking. Plus help the environment. Visit soundtransit.org for details. So that's a half a dozen strikeouts for Noesi. He's got 2 outs. A man on here in the 7th. Here's Napoli. Struck out looking and swinging. Strike 1. Mike trimming the beard and the sideburns from a night ago against Felix and company. Went 0 for 2 with a walk. Ahead 0-2. He got him on an 0-2 pitch in the 3rd, a 1-2 pitch in the 5th.
I think both of those were sliders, Dave, so we're going to see how he approaches Napoli this time up.
Got him 0-2. Montero sets up outside. 0-2 strikes.
There it was, a slider well located. It's right where you want that pitch. 0-2, down below the strike zone, off the plate away. Good pitch for Hector right there. Sets up the fastball up and in here, or go back to that slider even a little further off the plate.
1-2. Just got a piece of it.
Just repeated the same pitch, and right there, slider down and away. Almost in the exact location as the 3rd pitch, which was the slider also.
Good pitch down and away. You got Napoli now leaning out over the plate, looking out over the plate. This might be a good time to buzz one up and on his hands.
1-2. Young at first, 2 outs. Swing him out. Hector Noesi with 7 strikeouts. It's the 3rd time he's got Napoli. Home 7th coming up. He's hanging in there. Mariners need some runs. It's 3-1 Texas. to you by Washington's Lottery and the Department of Imagination, encouraging you to imagine bigger when you play the lottery. Visit us on Facebook or tweet what you do to Twitter hashtag #IfIWon. Who knows? You might even see your tweet appear on TV during an upcoming game. 7th inning stretch here at Safeco Field. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Dan Wilson joins us in the booth today. The Mariners need some runs here as Hector Noesi has settled down after giving up a 3 spot in the 3rd. It'll be Casper Wells, Michael Saunders, and Brendan Ryan here against Matt Harrison. Strike one. Casper tonight, a deep drive to center field, run down by Hamilton with the bases loaded. That ended the 1st inning. And then he struck out. Ball and 2 strikes.
Harrison now at 93 pitches. Season high is 120.
Both of these guys have done a great job settling down. Inside misses. Strike 3 called. Wells gone. That's the 5th strikeout for Harrison. Tom Halley, one of our favorites behind home plate. Listen in and watch. And a slow-mo puts him, shows him in all his glory there. One of the more animated umpires when he's working the dish. Saunders, base hit to center and a strikeout tonight. One and 0 to Michael. Man, he was the fastest worker you caught, because this guy's moving at a very, very brisk pace.
Wow. You know, actually, I worked with some guys here, but in Cincinnati, Tom Browning was a guy that just loved to work really fast. And I remember even catching him in the bullpen before the game. He wanted that ball back after you caught it. I mean, you really had to get rid of it and get it back to him because he loved to work fast.
Wanted you to fire it back and
keep it going.
Harrison's almost at a similar type pace here. 3-2. Ground ball down to Kinsler. There's the Moreland. 2 outs. And with more on Tom Halley, and Angie Mentek had a chance to spend some time with Tom.
Yeah, guys, there is a story behind it. It starts out a little bit sad. He was one of the umpires who lost his job back in 1999 as part of the union resignation strategy. And then in 2003, he had a door open to come back to umpiring down in the minor leagues. And he said he needed to develop that just to keep his head straight down in the minor leagues. 2 years in the minors, 2005, he was back in the major leagues. And he's been very fortunate. He says it's his way of remembering everything he went through. And he wanted to have a signature call when he got back here.
Well, it works for him for sure. Brendan Ryan bounces one over Moreland's hit for a base hit. So 2-out base runner here in the 7th.
I think first and foremost, of all the umpires that we watch, he does an excellent job behind the plate. He really calls balls and strikes. I think he does as good a job as anybody.
Consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
what you want.
A number 1.
Absolutely.
Top of the order, here's Ackley tying run to the plate. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th.
Pretty amazing story. You hear a lot about guys that battle through the minor leagues, and here's a guy who was in the big leagues, went back down, and made his way back up.
Don't imagine there's too many of those stories out there. Fouled into the glove of Napoli. Alexei Ogundo. Throwing for Texas. They had to put Neftali Feliz on the DL. He's got elbow issues. Putting him on the DL yesterday.
Well, at 105 pitches, he's still throwing hard. That last fastball at 96 miles an hour.
And he strikes out Ackley. That's strikeout number 6. As the Mariners leave a runner stranded, it's 3-1 Texas. Three-1 Texas lead over the Mariners as we begin the 8th inning. Hector Noesi. 1 inning. It's a major blemish. 2 outs, 1 and 2 count. Gave up a triple and a single. 3 runs on the board, and it stayed like that since the top of the 3rd. Here's Moreland to lead it off. Noesi tonight with 7 strikeouts.
He pitched through this lineup 2 or 3 times, give up 3 runs through 7 innings. You've done a heck of a job. He needs some run support. Delabar and Luque both getting ready out in the bullpen, but I think he's pitched well tonight, Dan.
Yeah, I think so too. And we talked about the 1 inning, but beyond that, moved his fastball around very well and has had a really nice slider tonight that he's used very effectively on the right-handed hitters.
1 out after Wells makes that catch. And if you're hitting the road outside the Northwest, we'll take the Mariners with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv to see the Mariners live on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Mariners.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. So Moreland with that fly out, 0 for 2. Back to the top of the order, and Ian Kinsler. He's 0 for 3. Rangers, to your point, Mike, 3 runs on 3 hits. I mean, here we are in the 8th.
Yeah, a couple of walks hurt him. Other than that, he's really pitched well.
It's impressive. Ryan backhands, sets, got him. That's a fine play by Brendan Ryan.
I keep saying it, and it keeps making me look good, but I think he's the best defensive shortstop in the American League. We see this on a daily basis with Brendan Ryan. When we talk about his strong arm, because he throws from so many different angles, be able to get on top of that and put something on it. Kinsler runs well and is able to throw him out by a step. Pretty good.
Very impressive. Elvis Andrus, he did some damage. 3rd inning, 1-2 count, 2 out, 2 on. He tripled to left center field. Brought him 2. This one to right. Ichiro, great job. Fought the lights and won the battle. So Noesi, a fine job. He trails 3-1. The Mariners will have Liddy, Ichiro, and Montero coming up.
to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. By Northern Quest Casino, Spokane's newest destination resort. And by Ford, we are local. Great shot of the Space Needle there for you guys.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. About some offense now here from the Mariners in the 8th as it's getting late here at Safeco Field. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Rangers. Alex Liddy, a walk, a drive deep to center field. And he reached on an error by Beltre. Matt Harrison's held the Mariners to a run on 5 hits. He struck out 6, walked 2.
.108 pitches now for Harrison. Again, season high 120.
Mike Adams getting ready. There's one tough right-hander. 1-2 to Liddy.
Alex a little bit unlucky tonight. Hit the ball well out to center field. Hamilton made it a great catch up against the fence. And then a ground ball at the end of Beltre's glove. I think the ruling could have gone either way. Unfortunately, it was an error, so that didn't help Alex. Still looking to get his base hit.
Only the 3rd error this season by Beltre. Gold glove, third baseman. Solid base hit up the middle. Alex Liddy on a 2-2 pitch. Good start to the 8th inning.
.93-mile-an-hour fastball, keeps his hands inside of it, has to work hard. That pitch at the top of the strike zone at 93 and lines it back up the middle. Really good piece of hitting for Alex.
Brings Ichiro to the plate, the tying run here in the 8th. Tying run at the plate. Ichiro tonight a base hit to right. Fly out to left, and 4-6 fielder's choice to end the inning. It's back in the 5th. Since 72, look at that, most hits against the Rangers, tied with Hall of Famer George Brett. Down the line, that is a foul ball. Takes care of it.
That's an easy call.
Ichiro with 1 home run on the season. There's a base hit. That'll work. 2 men on, nobody out.
That'll do it for Harrison. 115 pitches. Ron Washington coming out of the dugout. He's going to go get his top flight reliever and Mike Adams.
So Wash making a slow walk out to the mound. Harrison threw a nice ball game. Run on 7 hits. Ichiro checking in with his 2nd hit tonight. And for Ichiro, he gives him 53 on the season. Mariners brewing something here in the 8th. Down 2 with 2 on, nobody out. We're back to Safeco Field right after this.
Jesus Montero standing there ready to hit is the winning run coming to the plate. Hi everybody, Angie Mentink at the Ford Sports Desk. We're going to switch gears for just a second and move from the baseball diamond to the pitch. Round 3 matchups of the Lamar on U.S. Open Cup are set. And the Northwest MLS clubs found out their next opponents. The Portland Timbers are going to take on Cal FC at Geldwin Field in Portland on May 30th. And the Seattle Sounders, looking for their 4th straight Open Cup championship, will travel to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Silverbacks of the NASL. The Silverbacks feature Tacoma's own and former Husky, Rafael Cox. That game will also be May 30th, 4:30, first kick. Gentlemen.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. Matt Harrison threw a nice ball game. He leaves with runners at first and second. Mike Adams takes over. Here's the line on Harrison.
7+, 7 hits for Harrison. He's given up 1 run. It was earned. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 114 pitches for Harrison. He is responsible for the 2 base runners in Liddy and Ichiro right now. Threw the ball well. He's fortunate early in the game. Hamilton made a couple of really nice catches for him. Numbers for Adams: 2.35 ERA, 0-2 record, 15 in the third, 11 strikeouts, just 2 walks on the year. Opponent's average 2.37. He's given up 1 home run. Fastball being 94 to 95, trying to sink it with a really good slider to the right-handers.
Jesus Montero is going to be the hitter. A strikeout, a ground out, and a strikeout tonight against Mike Adams. Montero 1 for 1. Around Washington. Sweating this one out now. He's got a 3-1 lead. The Mariners threatening. They've out hit Texas 7-3. Liddy led off the inning. The base hit, moved to second on a base hit by Ichiro.
A lot of relievers, Mike, like to come into the game and throw that first pitch breaking ball because they know the hitter is sitting on that fastball. Be interesting to see what Adams does here.
First pitch to Montero. Down low, ball 1.
That was the breaking ball. Montero has seen a lot of off-speed pitches in this game. His last at bat, they threw him a couple of fastballs inside, but for the most part, it's been something off-speed. So with Adams, it will be the slider.
Adams started his career in Milwaukee. Did really well in San Diego. Came over a year ago to Texas. 1-0 to Montero. 1-1.
You're right, they've been going at Montero with that breaking ball, but especially in this situation, runners at first and second, that's the easy double play pitch, and that's probably what they're going to go after him with. Get them out of this inning quickly.
Matt Harrison put in some good work, left with a 3-1 lead. Wrap the tension of Mike Adams working 1-1 to Montero. Off speed pitch. Right field for Cruz. Gets it back in. 1 out. Mariners second baseman Dustin Ackley doesn't bobble much, but Friday he'll aim with the first ever Dustin Ackley bobblehead night. It's free for the first 20,000 fans, so quickly nod your head up and down and saying you're going to be there. Head to the Safeco Field box office or Mariners.com right now for your tickets.
Well, Justin Smoak's going to come to the plate 1 for 3. He's driven in the 1 run for the Mariners. Had a base hit back in the first inning. Picked up an RBI as Alex Liddy scored.
Big spot right here for Smoak. 2 on for the Mariners. Smoak 0 for 1 against Mike Adams. Strike 1.
That's just a perfect pitch from Adams. Justin probably sitting on a first pitch fastball. That's what he ended up getting, but in that location, he's not going to do much with it.
No. Great location on that pitch. He's got that little run from that right-hander there, and that's just a pitch that's going to be tough for him to hit.
Adams from first base side of the rubber. He's got an 0-1 count here to Smoke. 2 on. 1-2.
Well, he gets a fastball again, and it is right down the middle. A little bit tardy on it.
0-2 hole here for Smoke. 2 on, 1 out. Oh, 2 strikes. Smoke drove in the Mariners' only run. First inning. Base hit to left. Sits in a fly to left. Ground out to short. Count it 1-2. Go through the signs again. Napoli going out for a quick word.
Well, obviously in this situation, a key point in the ball game, they want to make sure they're on the same page. The same pitch selection right here. Looked like when Napoli was given the signs, there was a little miscommunication there. It didn't look like they were on the same page with that pitch. So a good opportunity for Napoli there to get out to the mound and get right with Adams.
Got a 1-2 count to Smoke. 2 on. Mariners down 3-1. 2-2. Inning started with Liddy and Ichiro. Base hits to center. Montero fly to right. Matt Harrison, you saw him. He's won 5 straight against the Mariners. 2-2 is the count.
Pitches away. Typical. These guys that set games up before they get it to the closer, and even the closer's trying to stay out to the bigger part of the ballpark. It's rare for them to pitch inside. If they do, they typically will waste the pitch way in there, but they want to get you out on the outer part of the plate.
Straight away and deep in the outfield against Smoke. 2-2 count. Runners at first and second. Adams pitch. Taking for a ball. Full count.
Tried to backdoor that slider there after running a lot of those sinkers off the plate away.
Kyle Seager's on deck. And Lucas Lidke, the only Mariner up in the pen, as when we watch this 3-2 situation. 2 on. Game on the line. Pitch to Smoke. Striking out. 2 outs.
It might be a situation where Justin just trying to do too much. This is a fastball off the plate away. He was able to lay off of that pitch to get to the 3-2 count. Tremendous amount of run on that fastball. I think if anything's close, Justin knew that he was going to have to try to protect the plate. This just runs too far away from him as it goes off the outside part of the plate.
So a 2-out opportunity for Kyle Seager. First 2 men have reached, and then 2 outs. Fly out and a strikeout. Strike 1 to Kyle. He's walked. Fly to left. Bounce to second.
Fifteen of the 26 RBIs that Kyle has driven in this year have come with 2 outs. Ranks him first in the American League.
Big spot here on 1. Backs him off the plate. Down even at 1-1. Mariners took care of Yu Darvish, who came in with an outstanding record of 6-1, but Mariners got to him in 4 innings for 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Last night's 6-1 Mariner win. 1-1 to Seager. Outside for ball 2.
Nobody throwing in the Rangers bullpen. Casper Wells on deck for Eric Wedge. It's a pretty good bench to work with tonight. You have Carp, Jaso, and Kawasaki, the switch hitting Figgins. The left-handed hitters are available to him. If I had to guess, I would say John Jaso. Good shot. Kyle can reach base.
2 outs, 2 on. Mariners down 2. 2-1 count to Kyle Seager. 3-1. Ron Washington, 60-year manager. Rangers on top, 3-1. Matt Harrison started, threw a nice ball game. Right now, favorable count to Seager, 3-1. Held it off, full count.
Another pitch just off the plate away. Take a look at it. 92 miles an hour. You can see Napoli set up on the outside corner to the hitter. This looks like it's middle away. And there's just a lot of late movement on his fastball, Dan. That's a tough pitch to lay off of.
Yeah, and that's what where that movement comes in, that he's got such good tail on that fastball. We saw it with Smoke, the pitch up in the strike zone. That one really took off. And that pitch there to Seager, nice down in the strike zone.
Runners take off. 3-2. Struck him out. What work done by Mike Adams. After a couple of base hits to set it up for the Mariners, they go fly out, strikeout, strikeout. Still 3-1 Rangers.
Sports is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. By Sterling Bank, life is about the good stuff. Your bank should be too. Visit our new website at bankwithsterling.com. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. That was a tough inning, guys. I thought we were going to get at least 1 or 2 across.
3-1 Rangers. Got some work to do in the ninth. Right now, Lucas Litke's got to take over. But Hector Noesi, good numbers, guys.
I thought overall, really an excellent game for him. 8 innings, just 3 hits to the Rangers. 3 runs, they were earned. The 2 walks, that's what cost them. Ended up walking 2 batters. Both of them scored 7 strikeouts on 102 pitches.
Lucas Litke takes over. Breaking ball to Josh Hamilton as we check out our Nissan shift to the bullpen. And it brings in Texas native Lucas Litke. First win was against the Rangers here in the Bigs.
And I'm sure Lucas is in here to face one batter. Then it's Josh Hamilton, Delabar back up. His numbers really pitched well this year. 10 1/3, 12 strikeouts, 7 walks. It's a 1-0 record. Has not given up an earned run this year.
Broken bat down the line, foul. Hamilton has been stellar playing in center field. This against Casper Wells, bases loaded, 2 outs in the first. And then another rob job on Liddy. That came leading off in the third. Counts 3-1 to Hamilton. Triple Crown leader right now in the American League. Sharply hit, but right into the shift. Now throw him out. Kyle Seager on the play, 1 out.
Hey, look at how deep Kyle Seager is playing. He's out in right field. That's the second baseman. That might be as far out as we've seen a second baseman on the shift, and we've seen a lot of it this year.
Well, Eric Wedd's coming out to get Litke, does his job, retires the lefty power hitter Hamilton. He's going to bring in Steve Delabar.
Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Good to have you with us on Root Sports. Root's been covering since early in the ball game. 3-1 Rangers. Most of the scoring, in fact, all the scoring done in the first third of the ball game. Mariners a run in the first. Smoke drove it in, and then in the third inning, Andrus a 2-run triple and Hamilton an RBI single. 3-1 is the score. 1 out. Here in the ninth, new pitcher Steve Delabar.
Numbers for Delabar on the year. A 1-0 record for Steve. 19 1/3, 24 strikeouts and just 6 walks. Opponent's average 186.
Adrian Beltre 0 for 3.
Steve's fastball will be around 96 miles an hour.
Strike 1 to Beltre. Slide to right. Grounded out to short. Fly it out to center. Rangers hit a home run last night. That was Moreland. A dive, and it gets by Liddy. Base hit for Beltre.
Look at Alex in our McDonald's Super Mode, diving just out of the reach of Alex.
Bring up Michael Young, 1 for 3. Got a base hit his last time up. That was leading off the 7th. His single to left field. strike one to Michael.
Good job, Lucas Licky, to get Hamilton there to lead off the inning, Mike. Probably didn't draw it up going 2-0 on him in the bullpen when he was out there, but still was able to come back, and thanks to the shift, retire him. Kept the ball down there, got that ground ball.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job this year. Tough hitter to fall behind on, but I thought the fact that he was able to keep the ball on the ground is the most important thing when you have the guy leading the league in home runs with 18.
And with 3 home runs, 21 RBI to this point. Delbar 1-1. Beltre not much of a lead. Fouled off. Ball and 2 strikes. Joe Nathan, their closer. He is at the ready. Fly ball to right field, and Ichiro right there. 2 outs. They bring up left fielder David Murphy. 0 for 3. Fly to left, popped to short, fly to right. Ball 1 to Murphy. Fouled off, 1-1. Bottom of the 9th, bottom third of the order coming up for the Mariners. Scheduled Wells, Saunders, and Ryan. On 1 count. 1-2. That's getting 3 runs on 2 hits in the 3rd inning. Texas with just 2 hits since then. 1-2 to Murphy. Way upstairs. Mariners got their run in the 1st. And no runs on 6 hits since that point. Two to Murphy. Strike him out. Offense, last licks coming up. Wells, Saunders, and Ryan scheduled. Bottom of the 9th. Joe Nathan, their closer. 3-1 Rangers.
of the 9th. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk. Hello, everybody. We have an AL West showdown here at Safeco Field. They had an AL East showdown in Baltimore tonight. And O's leading that division, hosting the Red Sox. Bottom of the second, Steve Tolleson puts the Orioles on the board with a 2-run shot into center field. It's his first home run of the season. Orioles up 2-0. Then in the bottom of the 8th, Wilson Betemit blasts his own 2-run shot into right field. That's all they would need. Baltimore over Boston 4-1. Now, coming up here on the postgame show, we're going to take you where no one else can. We're going to put a microphone on Alex Liddy. I call him the Italian Stallion. But we have him in batting practice, mic'd up, and also we've got Super Mo plays from all the fantastic defensive plays from both sides that have been made tonight. Guys, back to you upstairs.
All right, Angie, thank you. Here we go. Bottom of the 9th. Here's how it's developed. 3 runs in the 3rd inning. The difference right now, if the Mariners got up to a 1-0 lead. Great pitching by the Mariners to hold down the most potent offensive unit. 3 runs on 4 hits. They bring in their closer, Joe Nathan.
9 saves out of 10 opportunities. ERA at 2.5. 21 strikeouts and just 2 walks.
Mike Carp, pinch hitting. Couple of defensive changes. Craig Gentry, one of the faster guys in the league. He's in center field and moving from center to left is Josh Hamilton. And Carp ahead in the count. 1-0. Carp 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. Mariners got to Nathan back on Wednesday, April 11th, down in Arlington.
He gets a high fastball. 93 miles an hour, swings under it. He's able to throw that pitch by him.
1-1. Fouled off. Mariners in that April 11th game got 3 runs on 4 hits off of Nathan. And Saunders RBI double to tie it. And a game-winning RBI by John Jaso gave the Mariners a 4-3 victory. Nathan's done a heck of a job coming back from Tommy John surgery. Closer with San Francisco and long time with Minnesota from 04 through last year, discounting the 2010 season that he missed because of TJ surgery. 1-2.
He's going right at Mike Carp. Nothing but fastball so far. The last one, a good fastball at 95 miles an hour. Take a look at it again. Fastball, middle of the plate. Carp fouls it straight back.
Do it again at 1-2. Bouncing ball to the first baseman, Moreland. Nathan covers. He's there. 1 out. We'll bring up Michael Saunders.
Oh, after all those fastballs, Mikey finally went to the off-speed pitch and got Carp out in front, and he tapped it over to first base.
I thought it was interesting watching that too. Napoli telling him to throw the pitch in the dirt. He didn't quite get in the dirt, but was down far enough to where Carp had to hit it on the ground. I'll bring up Michael Saunders. Michael's 1 for 3 in the game.
His 1 hit. The rally hat's taking effect here, or in effect. That big hit he had back on April 11th against Joe Nathan. 1-1 pitch. Double to left center field. Tie that game at 3-3. In a 0-2 hole. Nathan got to the bigs in 1999 with the Giants. Was with them through the 03 season. Did he go? He did go. So third base umpire Onora. Napoli throws down to Moreland. 2 down.
like a split. Michael does chase it. I think he does the right thing. He just takes off right away. He knew that he had gone too far with it. Runs down.
Nice play by Napoli there to not only block that pitch, but it came off of him and stayed close to home plate. If that ball runs down the line, like you mentioned, Mike, Saunders had taken off. He'd probably reach first base, but a nice job to knock it down, keep it close, and he's able to make the easy throw.
Last hope here, Brendan Ryan. He's got 2 hits tonight. Strike 1. Brendan tonight bounced into a double play. Double to left, single to right. Matt Harrison stands to be the winner if Nathan can close it out here. The 0-1 to Ryan. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Nathan outside. Joe, a basketball player and a baseball player at Stony Brook University, Long Island, New York. 1-2. Came in inside portion and missed. Nathan, 37 years old, big guy at 6'4", 227. He's got a 2-2 count. Full count. Ackley's on deck if Ryan can keep it going. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. Game over. Texas wins 3-1. That's a tough one for the Mariners this season. Tied now at 1-1. Hector Noesi throws a nice ball game, but not enough offense tonight, fellas.
Threw a great ball game. As you look at the line tonight, the Mariners score 1 run on 7 hits, but Noesi goes out and pitches. Gives up the 3 runs. Only 3 hits for Noesi. 4 total hits for the Mariners. Had a couple of opportunities. A big one in the first inning, which would change the whole game. Damn, bases loaded. Casper Wells, I thought, put a good swing on it. Takes Hamilton all the way out to the wall. Unfortunately, the ball doesn't leave the ballpark, and now the game is on. And with what Noesi did, Mariners unfortunately just didn't get anything else going offensively.
Yeah, it would have been a much different complexion to that game had that ball gone off the wall or out of the ballpark, and would have been 5-0 at that point. But thought Hector settled down after giving up the 3 runs and really gave the Mariners a chance offensively to come back, but they just weren't able to mount any attack.
So the Rangers, they get a strikeout from their closer, Joe Nathan. Picks up a save, his 10th. Makes a winner out of Matt Harrison, who's won 6 in a row now against the Mariners. This series tied at 1-1. We're back with a 12:40 start time tomorrow. And here's how it ended right there. 3-1 the final. Rangers over the Mariners. Let's get the bread and bill in center field.